It was just another morning. The sun was creeping through the curtains, casting soft shadows on the wall. My routine was set in stone. Wake up, brew my coffee, and head off to work. But that day, there was something different in the air. As I stood in the shower, letting the warm water cascade over me, I heard a sound. At first, I thought it was just the pipes creaking, a common occurrence in an old apartment like mine. But then I realized this was no ordinary sound. It was deeper, more human, almost alive. A whisper brushed against my ear. "Can you hear me?" I froze. The water continued to flow, but all I could focus on was that voice. I turned off the shower, peering into the misty bathroom, half expecting someone to be standing there. But I was alone. Everything felt normal, yet deep inside, something had shifted. I found myself replaying that voice in my mind, desperate to hear it again. At first, I didn't even want to admit it to myself. Days passed, and I tried to push the memory of that whisper away, but the world around me began to feel stranger. In the quiet of night, sitting alone in my room, I'd hear it again. It would fade when I moved to another room, but in the silence, it would return, echoing. "Can you hear me?" Was it echoing in my mind, or was it really coming from somewhere? I couldn't tell. The voice seemed to toy with my thoughts. It wasn't just when I was alone anymore. I started hearing it in crowded places, too. In meetings, out with friends, even on the subway, it would suddenly break through the noise. "Can you hear me?" I tried to drown it out, filling my life with music, turning on the TV, anything to keep my mind occupied. But no matter how hard I tried to escape, that whisper always found its way back. Then one day, it changed. It felt like it was waiting for a response. "Can you hear me?" it asked. But then it added something chilling. "If you can hear me, I will find you." A shiver ran down my spine. It felt like a threat, a promise, something dark lurking just beneath the surface. My breath quickened. That night, I lay in bed, wide awake. I knew that when everything went quiet, that voice would return. And it did. But this time, it wasn't just a whisper. It was calling my name. No longer just a sound. It felt like a presence. Something tangible. I opened my eyes and saw a silhouette in the darkness, moving closer. Suddenly, my vision blurred. My breath hitched in my throat. My body felt paralyzed. I couldn't move, couldn't scream. And then it spoke again. "Now you can hear me, because you are mine." When I finally awoke, everything seemed normal again. I was in my bed, morning light streaming in through the window. But from that day forward, nothing felt the same. That whisper wasn't just in my ears anymore. It was in my mind, a constant reminder that I was never truly alone. I found you, and now I'm always with you. Eventually, what started as a curiosity morphed into fear. I didn't want to hear it anymore. I couldn't escape it. That voice, I realized, was a reflection of my own mind. Maybe it had been me all along. So, why am I sharing this with you? Because sometimes our minds play tricks on us. If you ever find yourself alone and start hearing whispers, maybe it's not something external. Maybe it's your own thoughts trying to break through. Thank you for listening. If you ever experience these kinds of whispers, know you're not alone. Subscribe, because these stories are far from over. They'll always be with you, just like that voice.